Hello and welcome back to my vlog, Losing It with Shannon. But today's not, well, it's kind of a weight loss story. I lost like 8 pounds in the afternoon. I wanted to share with you my birth story. It kind of came on so fast. I'm still kind of processing through it all. So if you have followed my videos through the last few months, I really wanted to avoid being induced. And so a lot of this, healthy eating, exercise, it was all with the goal to avoid being induced. Well, I made it to 40 weeks and 4 days and still no 3 days, I think, is when we made the induction date. So Thursday we were given an induction date, and I tried so hard Saturday and Sunday that weekend, and still no baby. Sunday I pretty much resigned myself. I was not going to try anything. I was done, and I was just going to accept that I was going to be induced again, and I will never ever have that feeling, be able to go, honey, it's time for us to go to the hospital. Well, and I cried myself to sleep that night. So I went to sleep. I was so incredibly tired Sunday afternoon. Incredibly tired. I fell asleep at 10, woke up, it's like probably 20, right before, 20 minutes later, probably with some contractions, but they feel a lot quicker than any of the contractions I've been having for the last month. For the last month, I've been having Braxton Hicks, or contractions, and most of them did change my cervix, because I had downward change, and I really think the dates did help with that. It's just nothing enough to put me in labor. I just needed enough to get in labor, I guess, or that's what I felt like. And she was incredibly low. I told my mom the week before, she cannot get any lower without being born. So I go to sleep, I wake up at 7, I roll over, and I hear one of my boys, because I slept in the other room with the boys because there was a spider in my bed. So I heard one of them rustling around. One of them takes his diaper off and then sometimes keeps sleeping. So I heard him rustling around, so I thought he was going to get up and play with me. So I was like, at this point, I'm just going to wake up. And I'm having menstrual light cramps in my back. Not like the back contractions I had at first with my first son, my second son. Kind of slightly different than the contractions I had in labor with my first son. Like my first one, I felt like it was a burning knife being jammed and twisted into my back of my spine. The second one, it felt like just someone squeezing the muscle fibers in the back, but not painful. Just, But those weren't cervical changing yet. It took another 24 hours for those to start showing up on a monitor, because I wound up getting an NST because of my blood pressure. Well, these felt more like a burning knife that's filleting the muscles. Just like picking muscle fiber and just picking it apart. And they are coming in waves. But I'm not counting it, because for the last month, I've had Braxton Hicks contractions that were always 45 to 55 seconds long, between 2 minutes long, with occasional 5-minute breaks. Plus, I figured once I went to the bathroom, washed dishes, cooked breakfast, they'd be gone. So at 9, my husband texted me because he thought he was mad at me. And so I go, well, how is your route? And the problem is, he drives for a living. He drives in the city next to us, but his car is 3 cities away. Mondays, he has to go in the Bufu area. That is even longer distance away. So knowing it's a Monday, he's been gone since 5. And I don't know where he's at in his route. Is he going to be somewhere where he can stop and go? And I don't want to worry him, because I don't think these are actually contractions, or they're probably not doing anything. They're not going to mount to anything. And I don't want it to make him come home and it be nothing. He's kind of worried, because I'm like, well, I'm having something. I've decided to stop calling them contractions at that point, because every time I call them contractions, they just stop. I'm having something, but it's probably nothing. Well, he asked me to start timing them. Again, they are just like all the other ones, 45 seconds to 55 seconds long. I can walk, talk, do whatever with them. I mean, they're uncomfortable. I've had more painful periods. I went to the living room, and I'm like, I want to watch the news. I don't want to watch anything I've seen a billion times like Deep Space Nine. I just want to watch news. News wound up annoying me, so I wound up finding classic Doctor Who on the TV. So I should have probably thought something was like different, considering I never want to watch the news. But I remember telling my kids, hey, be good for mommy. I'm kind of like hurting, so let's be calm and nice for mommy. Well, 10, I'm walking to the bathroom because I need to pee. And there's been times in this pregnancy where I've been standing in front of the potty, like working on the whole pants pulling down process, and, pee a little. Sometimes that happens, especially when we really, really gotta go. I'm halfway to the bathroom. I'm, thinking of the toilet because, that's where I'm going. Probably in the middle of contraction. I kind of like feel this bubble in my pants, and then it kind of pops. So I'm like, well, either my water just broke, or I peed myself. I don't know. Well, but when I go in the bathroom, the pad I'm wearing, it's all up north. Well, wouldn't it be lower? So I'm like, this is pee. But I'm wiping, and it's a little yellow, green tinted, but it's a little red. But nothing more is coming out other than the little itty bits. Kind of like, could this be a bloody show coming? Could this be the mucus plug I've been losing for like 4 weeks? The times I've had my water broken 2 times, every time it's been like a pool of just a slime trail, or just going on and on and on. And my only thing I can think of is that was my water breaking, and where she was so low, incredibly low the entire pregnancy, that she corked it, which does happen. And that's why, they're swinging each other. So I think that's why I had no extra fluid come out. Incredibly, enough for me to go, well, this is my water. And it was not a lot. It really felt like just a little bit of pee. So, but it's that green yellow tinge. I mean, yes, the mucus plug is a little yellowy and greenish sometimes, but then if it's the waters, it's a meconium. So I haven't told my husband that I think my water's broken for 20 minutes. This is enough time for me to Google and feel bad and guilty and wondering, is this meconium? Do I need to go to the hospital? Is my baby okay? I walked back to the bedroom, went and got my heartbeat Doppler, the baby Doppler. Found her heartbeat. It was like 130. So I'm like, well, she's not dead, so I haven't killed her. Like, I've literally thought, did I kill her? Because I jumped on the trampoline gently the day before. But I've been doing high impact most of this entire pregnancy. The last 4 weeks, I kind of stopped exercising. Well, it's just 20 minutes of guilt. I'm like, I think you need to come home, because I just want to go to labor and delivery just so I don't have to worry anymore. I'm going to take a shower though. I really considered a bath, but I'm like, well, if my water did break, it's better for me to take a shower. So, and I'm taking a nice shower. I'm going to wash my hair. I'm going to wash my body. I don't care about shaving. I really don't care. But I'll shave my pits. That's it. I'm about to wash my face with a knife. So it was a slightly nicer shower than I normally take, not the quick minute shower, except, my toddler kept interrupting the shower the entire time, and I kind of stayed like in there a little longer to let the water hit my back during contractions. But there were a couple of contractions in there that I was like shaking and holding onto the sides of the shower stall. So at this point, when I come out, my husband's like, well, call my mom. Well, I'll text her, and I said, I think I'm in labor. Can you come pick up the boys? I've already had John start coming home. She goes, okay, I'm going to wrap up things at the church, and I'll go get the car seats, and I'll come get them. I kind of had been debating on what pad to wear because I'm like trying to monitor the meconium thing. So I wound up just putting pull-up on it and just putting a towel on and grabbing my spray deodorant and taking it with me to the bedroom. But I can't just lay on the bed and just lay there with my eyes closed. That's the thing I wanted to do. So I know I had where my phone. I didn't charge my phone that night, so I had put it on the charger before I went and took my shower. So now it's 100% charged, and I have to see a missed call from my son's school. So I called. So this is 10:58. 10:58. I call my son's school, and I'm talking like a short 2-3 minute conversation with his teacher and then the receptionist who I feel normal. I'm talking through them. Contractions are still the same number of variables. And I mean, there was probably a part I felt a little out of breath at the end because the one was coming right at the end of the conversation, but it wasn't bad. My husband talked to her on Friday, and she had no clue. So that's how normal everything was at 11. 11:13, his mom calls me, and evidently I'm starting to sound a little worse for wear. At one point, I have finally opened my brand new TENS unit and slapped on my back, but I've only slapped one side on because I'm now rolled over onto my right side and I just don't want to move. And I'm just sitting here focusing through every contraction with my eyes closed. Kind of like riding the wave of the TENS cycle, riding the wave of the contraction. And I'm counting to 50 every time. Because if I can make it through 50 seconds, I can make it through the next 1 to 2 minute break. 11:23 or 11:25, I'm texting my husband. I think I might need an epidural this time. I didn't get an epidural with my second. I did with my first. But during transition, I was screaming for epidural with my second. And I think the nurse figured out I was in transition when I was asking for the epidural. Plus, I was really tired. So, and I was feeling so bad because that's like one of the fears I had through this entire pregnancy was that I'd wind up having to get an epidural or C-section, and all that. I would go backwards in my birth stories. Induction, epidural, all the IV meds, and the next one just IV meds, but I missed the epidural, and then I'm like, well, I guess I'm just such a wuss. I feel so incredibly bad that I cannot do this without epidural. I mean, it's just, there's no break. It's like slam, slam, slam. This sucks. And laboring at home sucks. This whole process sucks, but laboring in the hospital sucks too. It all sucks. This is for the birds. This is for the damn birds. I'm not crying, but now looking back, I'm crying because I felt so incredibly bad that I would have to have epidural, and I felt like the weakest little kitten ever. So at some point, I got dressed. Because I'm running back and forth from the bathroom between contractions, because it's like period poops. You just sit on the toilet sometimes and it just feels better. Plus, I did need to go to the bathroom a couple extra times. So, I mean, I didn't explain that to my husband. He goes, that was part of your water? I'm like, no, it wasn't my water. But I didn't tell him about, period poops. I told my mom about that, and she's like, yeah, I get that. So, at some point, I've gotten my son to start getting dressed. I help the toddler to get a shirt on, and I'm okay. Or maybe that was between a contraction. I don't know. But at some point, between 11:30, I guess, and 11:43, I realized my other son's still not gotten dressed. So it's like demon voice rose from the gut going, get dressed. He throws shoes at me after he gets dressed, and I cannot help. And I think in that 5-10 minute time span of the one getting a shirt on, the one not, it's gotten so much worse that I'm like, I can't help you with shorts. I can't. No. He put on nice polo underwear. They were really nice though. And didn't put shorts on. And I'm telling him, the other one, go find him shorts. He doesn't want to wear shorts, and he screams at me, Bubba, put dirty underwear in my face. And then One throws shoes at me. I'm like, put that one on the other feet. Don't touch me. The other one at one point is trying to touch me, climb on me, and we've been cuddling through some of these contractions earlier. It's just, I don't want anyone touching me right now. Do not touch me. So, it was really rough, like 20-minute time span. And I felt really bad because I didn't want him touching me. I'm like, don't touch me! I haven't drank anything since my coffee that morning, too. It's really funny. I told myself if I'm in labor, I need to eat a really good, healthy breakfast. So I did a great, perfect THM breakfast. I had cocoa butter in my coffee. And I was like, this is going to fuel me. I had some carbs. This is going to fuel this labor. I had to take a Zofran that I had hanging around because I always get nauseous during labor. So I'm sitting here between the contractions going, I'm going to vomit. I'm going to vomit. God, this is the worst idea of a breakfast ever. So I think the toddler peed himself at some point during this whole process of craziness because I told him not to touch me and he started crying. When he cries, especially if he's wearing underwear, he pees. And so somewhere around 11:43, I'm going back to the bathroom. I hear the kids scream because they're standing in front of the door window. Paula's here, and I'm in the bathroom. And I'm trying to get myself together between contractions to get up and go, and I do not want to bend over. And I know they say squat, sway, rock. I tried that like a couple times, but the idea of bending over, swaying, I did try the swaying, was just like horrible idea. Could not. Idea was nauseating to me. And so I'm like, demon voice came back and I'm like, pick up the backpack on the floor. And he picks it up. He's like, where? I'm like, there. So, I have a dog. If you've watched my videos before, I have a dog, and he's really noisy. He doesn't really like when people come to the door, the backyard, or around our house. So, he's freaking out when we're opening the door, and I'm like, I open the door, I'm holding him back with one hand. I feel sweaty. My hair maybe is half wet, dry. I feel like it's all over my face. And I'm just like, there. And I'm like, I think Simon peed himself. And then I pulled the door, talked back, and slammed the door in her face. Felt really bad about that. My husband talked to her, and he goes, she's had 3 of them, and he's like, she knows what you're going through, and she was pretty okay with it. So my husband must have pulled up right at that time because he helped her put my oldest in the car. Evidently at that point, I went right back to the bathroom, sitting on the toilet, like my arms off to the side. My husband, as horrible as it sounds, he says my eyes were like I was just like laying back, just like eyes were on the back of my head, but no, my eyes were closed, because that's all I really wanted to do was lay down, eyes closed, laying down, or I'll sit on the toilet. I was not going to have a toilet baby. I know I wasn't going to have a toilet baby. I just needed to sit on the toilet. I know there's a Duggar joke in there, but I know what my labor feels like enough that I wasn't going to be a toilet baby. He kind of goes, what do I need in the car? I'm like, quietly whispering now, suitcase, my backpack, the baby bag. Like super quietly. Those 3 things. I'm still not wearing my glasses at all. And he goes, okay, well, go get in the car. I'm waiting for a contraction to end to get to the car. So as soon as it's over, I run jet quickly, walking to the car. Because I know I have 2 minutes to get there. But I got to get there first. And it's like I'm not wearing my glasses, so everything's blurry. But I feel like when I'm now in labor, that everything gets like blurry, and I'm just like tunnel visioning. I mean, I see things, but it's not like nothing's clear. Nothing's clear. Get in the car. I don't have AC in my car, and I get really hot during labor. So I was just my head right in the vent. It's the most wonderful, beautiful thing in the world. Thing that like made it. if you've ever been so super duper hot, and then you're finally in like 2 inches from an air conditioning that's blowing so cold, it's the most divine feeling in the world. And like there was a couple times I swayed over, and I'm like, nope. So I swayed back. So remember, I've been counting through my contractions. I lost count at 10 in a couple of times on the drive to the hospital. I opened my eyes a couple times trying to figure out where we're at. Then he's asking me questions like, can you walk to the door from the parking lot? And I thought I said yes, but I guess I'm not. He says no. At one point I shook my head, but whatever. He asked me at one point, and it might have been right at the time we hit the bypass, which is like 5 minutes from the hospital, and asked me, am I feeling pressure? And around that time, or before or after that, I was feeling pressure. This is the go get the nurse pressure. Not car baby pressure. I'm not having car baby because the hospital is right there. I can see it. I can almost spit on it. Not having car baby, but I'm having pressure right now, and I am going to have this baby in the next 15 minutes. He parks right in front of the ER main lobby doors. We get out. I'm like, you gotta get my purse because I need my ID card and my med card. It's at 12. It's about 12 now. 12ish. He came to the house at 12. I tell him, I don't think we left in enough time, or something like that. We walk in, and the woman had just came out and sat on the bench, and I'm like wondering, what is she thinking while I'm stumbling out of this car, probably looking like a hot mess. I wonder what she's thinking's going on, because I don't think I look super pregnant. My husband says I did, especially in certain clothes, but not enough. Not like, oh, dear good Lord, she's about to pop that baby out. We go to the lobby, to the volunteer desk, where they're going to help with registration or get you where you go, or point you where you're going. I remember grabbing the side of the side, like, corner of the registration desk, and my husband's like, it says something like she's in labor. They're like, well, we need to register you first. And he goes, now this is happening at the same time someone else said me. He's saying behind me, because he's behind me, no, you don't understand. This is bad labor. He's figured it out a long time ago. At the same time, I'm like kind of looking off in the distance. They're bickering. They're trying to find wheelchairs, whatever. Sorry, TMI. I pooped myself. And then I'm pushing. I cannot control my body from pushing. I am pushing this baby. So I am pushing this lobby, and I feel the blood draining from my face. My eyes are opening a little wider. And I'm like thinking, I'm about to have this baby in this lobby. Now, I have anxiety, if I mentioned this before, so I would like to rehearse stories to calm myself in case of emergency stories in my head. So maybe I have figured out the options that will make me feel so I can conquer whatever might just like go my way. This, I did rehearse this once or twice in my head. This did not, number one, my whole labor didn't go the way I thought it would go. But this was not the plan. This was not the just in case plan at all. They finally find a wheelchair and wheeled up from behind me, and I go sit on it. But I'm not really sitting on it because, well, there's the idea of sitting on it seemed like a weird idea. Plus, there was a little bit of poop, so I'm like halfway on, halfway off of it. And she's wheeling me back, and she's like trying to go fast, but she had to like take a break for a second. Get me in the back of labor and delivery. I don't know what was said right at the desk. I don't really remember that, but they're trying to figure out room situations. Like triage, is that empty? It sounded like I feel like I heard that it was full. While they're thinking a labor room, and then I did hear them go, oh look, there's clean sheets on this bed. So bed 1 in triage was full. Bed 2 was empty. There was a girl just laying there calmly with, the monitors on her belly, getting monitored, calm as day. And And I'm just like, kind of feel bad for her having to hear all of what happened next. And I'm like, oh dear Lord. So they wheel me in the room. The nurse hands me a gown, because in my area they want you to disrobe completely, bra included, and get a gown on. And I shake my head and say, no, I'm having this baby. It was not a process of, let's get this bra off. No, I'm having this baby. So I literally am like bent over the bed, pull down my pants, roll in the bed, pants pull up, shoes still on, pants all up my ankles. I'm kicking off those things off in the floor. I don't even know where they're going. It's so undignified and unladylike. It's hilarious. And there might have been a contraction there, and I might be pushing. I don't really remember that. She checks really quick. She goes, well, the baby's head's right there. I'm like, I told you, I'm having this baby right now. They're trying to figure out if they're going to go ahead and wheel me to a labor room or not. And the one woman's like, no, we're having the baby here. And she goes, I've worked here for like 15, 17 years. I've delivered a baby or two. And I'm like, when I was going to have an induction, I was going to warn them that the nurse had delivered my last baby. So they didn't really get the warning like I was going to get them if I got induced. And then the next time I had a contraction, she reminds me to open my legs the way you need to. And, as much as you want to have a natural birth, I'm gonna give birth on my knees or in squatting position. Then second time, not happening. It's just like blah, blah. She kind of coaches me through it, because it's just coming so quickly. It's just like everything goes out of your brain. Plus my second one kind of came out on its own. I did no pushing. He just went. My body did the pushing. So kind of breathe through it, and then I guess her head is in my canal, the ring of fire. Now, the last time I had a non-epidural birth, didn't feel like the ring of fire was a ring of fire. Now, no meds, no IV fluids, no nothing. Was not a burning ring of fire to me. It's an uncomfortable, full sensation. So it's, as much as people say it's a ring of fire, it may not be a ring of fire for you. Maybe, who knows? So don't get scared about that. It was just an uncomfortable feeling, and I'm like, what's the status down there? That is like probably the legit sentence I said. And she's like, well, the baby's head's right there. I'm like, okay, that's all I need to know. And the next push, woo! Great thing about giving birth to a baby, it's like once the baby's head's out, it's like, unfortunately, you got to compare it. It's like the best BM you can ever have, and it's just all that pressure is gone, and it's just like, but now they're still trying to. So the baby is covered in a yellow and green tinge, and I'm like, the first words I ask are, is that meconium? Is the baby okay? Yeah. That's all I was focusing on. Pill bug?
Yeah.
Cool.
Just pill it.
So that's all I was focusing on. I just wanted her to be okay, and that me waiting to go to the hospital an hour, 2.5 hours did not hurt her. They quickly clean her. They clean as much as they can, I think, and they throw her on me. And then they're like, my husband, I think, came at that point, because they're like, here, get disrobe now, and we're gonna put the baby on you. So I'm taking my bra off. So my TENS unit was in my bra, and I'm like, here. I remember doing this, so I'm guessing he was like somewhere around me, and I gave it to him. He's like, what? He missed it. He missed the birth of our baby girl. His first and only girl, he missed it. And then my doctor comes. My doctor's missed both my births with her, so she's not destined to ever catch any of my children. So they wheel me into a labor room and get me to scoot over, and that bed's a hot mess. It just is. Sorry. Labor is messy, and it's poopy, and it's dirty, and it's bloody, and it's gross. Hey, some of that was her poop too, so yeah, whatever. So Then they're trying to get IV on me because my doc likes to do PIT after birth. I'm really hard stick, so they're trying to figure it out, and they couldn't even get it at one point because the machine was malfunctioning or something. It was all like super crazy. Delivering the placenta was just like kind of like delivering a mini second baby. It's like that pressure all of a sudden once they pull that all the way out. Yes, it had meconium staining in it. At one point, this is really stupid to be proud about, but at one point they asked me to lift up my bottom so they can pull out the chucks pads out from under me and maybe start like rinsing off and washing off areas. And I did that. I mean, did it, held it, whatever. And they're like, the nurse and the OB's like, whoa, that's like crazy impressive. I'm like, exercising for most of my pregnancy. Go girl. Yay. Such a stupid thing to be so proud about, but and so we got delayed cord clamping because of this whole situation. No, I didn't even have a Heplock. Didn't have any medications. Didn't have anything. So pretty much I got the birth I wanted. It was just not what I wanted. Now, I've heard of people who've had preceptive births versus normal births, and they said, comparing the two, they would never ever want to have a preceptive birth again, and because it was like so fast, it's hard to figure it out.